So, welcome to the 5th episode of Career Conversations with Felecia H. That's me, with a probably the most special guest I've had, Miss Tonya Love. I'm talking about this one is going to be fire, right? She is a friend, a sister, a mentor, and I'm so thankful, so honored to have her on my podcast today. And I titled this podcast A Special, a Sweet, a Beautiful Sacrifice. And we'll talk about why I titled it that, because I feel like you have made the ultimate sacrifice in your life, and it's so beautiful, and I cannot wait for you to share it with the world. So welcome, Tonya Love.
Thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
Awesome.
I have watched you start this and grow it, and man, I'm just excited to see where all it goes.
Oh my God, you are
so
beautiful.
Proud of you.
Thank you. You are beautiful, by the way. How long are your locks?
Too long.
Oh my God, they are beautiful.
Every week I talk about cutting.
They are gorgeous, and they look amazing on you.
Thank you.
So before we get started, I have to tell this story. So Tonya and I are both boy moms, and she'll tell you all about it. But our older two sons are right there together, same age and everything. And Tonya and I met years ago when our boys were in like preschool, pre-K, right? It's been a long time. This friendship is real, and it just hadn't changed. But me, I went on and had a number 3, right? So I added a third one to my pack, right? Still a boy. And but I was so used to traveling with 2. And one day we all met for lunch, and for whatever reason, all of our friends were boy moms too. Now that was crazy too.
Yes.
So we were all going to like Chick-fil-A for lunch, and I hop out the car with my 2 boys, and we're all walking into Chick-fil-A, and Tonya says, "Felecia, did you get the baby?" I was like, oh my God. The baby was still in the car. So I ran back to the car. I wasn't far, but I like locked the door. But that was just, we were so used to moving, with our boy with 2. And I just went and messed everything up with my third one. But anyway, you just saw a picture of him, and you just saw him on camera, and he is like not a baby anymore. So
no.
Yeah.
No.
So Tonya, let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. A beautiful sacrifice. Tell the viewers who you are, where you're from, where you live now, and how you got to where you live now.
Okay. Well, I'm Tonya Love. I am a native Memphian. Miss home a whole lot. But, like she said, I'll get into the sacrifice that I made. Lived in Memphis most of my life, but I've traveled a whole lot, and how I ended.
Okay, stop. I can't hear you for some reason.
Ringing.
Okay, so we're gonna stop.
So my people, they feel like they need to call me 24/7, and I guess they haven't looked at the clock to see it's 5:46 and Tonya doesn't answer her phone.
Yeah. So we'll stop.
Okay.
All right. So Tonya. Yep. So Tonya, tell your viewers, tell everyone your story. Where you're from, where you live now, how you got to where you live now, and just how that has become that beautiful sacrifice. Tell us.
All right. So I am Tonya Love. I'm a native Memphian. I have lived in Memphis most of my life, but I did do a lot of traveling, and I still ended up back in Memphis. So that's the beautiful thing about life. Let me just start there. Going back to my friendship with Felecia, that's the beautiful part of life. We leave, we come back, and we're like, why? Well, you know what? I can tell you all the whys and all the beautiful people I met when I returned back to Memphis. So there was a why. When my younger son decided he wanted to go away for college, I was very supportive of that. And he came to me and he said, Mom, I want to move to, he said, Mom, I want to go to Arizona State University. Like, Arizona State University? You know anybody in there? Your uncle gone,
Right.
He had an uncle that lived in, there's no family here.
Yeah.
I was like, we didn't do a tour of Arizona. I said, tell me your whys, why he wanted to go to Arizona. And he gave me his whys. He checked out their financial program. He checked out the school's background. And it probably didn't hurt that it was a party school, right? Because Gabe is very outgoing. He is very outgoing. But the thing that I loved about this kid the most is, even though he's very outgoing and he does all the things, always played 3 sports, all of those things, he managed to keep his grades good.
Right.
So when you have a kid that wants something, and they have proven themselves, you make sacrifices. You do. So my career goal was to move to Texas and be a director in Texas, a director of hospice. I'm a registered nurse, and now I'm a director in hospice care. And had a job in Texas, lined up to move to Dallas, Texas. And
I remember that. I thought,
yes,
yeah, I remember that. So
been talking about it for years. But when he said this is what he wanted, I felt it was my responsibility to make that happen, because he made the sacrifices. So let me make some. He did get a nice scholarship, but out of school tuition to go to Arizona State is $50,000.
Oh my gosh.
$50,000.
Yeah.
So I called and I said, and I asked the questions, and they were like, well, if you all are here by a certain time, he can be seen as an in-state student, which all of the scholarship money he had would then be, that would cover everything. No money out of pocket.
Wow.
So it was a no-brainer for me. I had the ability and the bandwidth to do it. So I made the decision to do it. We had 4 months, Felecia. 4 months to pack up things and move. And that's what we did.
So let's just stop here. Yeah. You packed your life up and moved to Arizona so that your son could attend college with in-state tuition.
Yeah.
That's major. When you told me that, I was like, okay, what now? But here's the thing. That's something I never heard of, but it's so just beautiful. Especially, with us having sons, sometimes you have to make those sacrifices for them.
Yeah.
So that they can live the life that maybe we didn't live at that age.
Exactly. My parents weren't able to send me to the college of my dreams. Yeah. But I had the ability to do that. So why wouldn't I do that?
Right.
And so, so we're here in Phoenix, Arizona. Got a great job offer before I got here. Ooh. And to be honest with you, my life has my career has went all the way up. All the way up.
So let me tell y'all, every time I talk to her, she's like, oh my God, the career opportunities are so awesome.
They're
do I need to pack my stuff and move to Arizona?
Everybody.
I am so proud of you. Yeah. Like, where did you even start when you decided to move to Arizona? When you were thinking about your career, where did you start? How did you even start that process?
So I was already, I think it was February of 2020, I had entered my hospice career. Never thought about hospice. Hospice was not even anything I would have thought I would do. And God brought that to me. So I promise you, I think this is my absolute ministry.
Wow.
And I knew that I did not want to leave hospice. So when I knew my son wanted to go to Arizona, we got everything done. We got him accepted, all of those things. I started looking for jobs. And I found a job as an RN case manager at one of the major hospitals here in Arizona. And went there, started there. It was a beautiful relationship, but I wanted to grow, and they didn't have the opportunity for me there. And just so happened, like, I gave them a 4-week notice.
Wow.
Felecia. Didn't have a job lined up, nothing. I just knew what I wanted to do, and I trusted. I trusted it was going to happen. But by week 2, a headhunter came to me and brought me to this amazing opportunity that I have right now.
Wow.
And it's kind of cool when you get to write your own job description. It doesn't get any better.
Oh, that sounds like so much freedom, not just to move about in the world, but just for your mind. Yes. Because that's peace. That's what we all are searching for. So that is so awesome. So now listen, let everybody know. So you moved to Arizona with one of your sons, but both of your sons didn't move. What was that like for you?
That was very difficult. It was very difficult because I do feel like I'm missing a piece of myself, right? A piece of me is over in Memphis. Man, it's hard not to go back to Memphis more often.
Yeah.
And so that was really hard. It was really difficult. However, he's been out here several times since that time. And we talk every day.
Yeah.
But guess what?
What?
He's moving out here next month.
Oh my God.
When Gabe came out for the Christmas holiday, I don't know what conversation they had, but he called me. He said, "Mom, I'm ready."
Wow.
And then, my question, hold on, Felecia. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I said, "But where are you going to stay?" He was like, "Mom." I said, "Oh no. Gabe, he's got his own place, and I'm helping him with that. Me and your dad, we can help you with your own place. And you can start looking for jobs. Let's go ahead and navigate through all of this. But Mama gonna do things on her own for a little while." So.
Well, sometimes, you know what? We have to push them to be independent. We have to push them, but we also have to teach them.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times in our culture, parents have pushed but didn't teach. And so sometimes that can cause a cycle that's not financially beneficial for that child, and it puts them in a certain situation that they're not really ready for. So I love that you're pushing him, but you're also teaching him.
Yes. And I'm gonna be right here. I'll be right here. And our sons are 20. I mean, he's 21.
Yeah.
And we'll have a 20-year-old. Gabe will be 20 next month. Oh my God, I can't believe they're getting old and we're getting fabulous. I don't know how that happens.
How does that happen?
It happens like that.
So Zion is already 20. He turned 20 in January. Dante will be 22 in March. So they're getting older, but we're getting more fabulous. How does that happen? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm loving it. I love it.
Love it. All right. So question number 2. Let's talk about your career story. Okay. So you talked about being in the hospice industry. How long have you been in that industry, and what has been easy and what has been challenging for you to progress your career? Okay. So just kind of talk to us about that.
All right. So I've been a registered nurse for 14 years.
Okay. I
started in neonatal intensive care because I had a baby that was 26 weeks. And now he's 21 years old.
Wow.
That sparked my love for nursing, and I got into nursing. I did not start hospice and palliative care until February 2020.
Okay.
And this is my love. This is my passion.
Wow.
This is the one thing that makes me get up every morning with a smile on my face. The reason...
Yeah, go ahead. I was about to say, why? Where does the passion come from? What do you love so much about it?
Right. So the passion comes from knowing that I go into someone's home and make their lives better than when I arrived. And actually, sometimes it's the other way around.
Wow.
Sometimes I may go in and they've made me better. And that is like... I've never had a career with immediate gratification.
Immediate gratification.
Immediate gratification. And when I was out in the field working as an RN case manager in hospice, that it just, there was nothing I wouldn't do. I mean, everybody had access to me because I wanted to give that back. Yeah. There is no greater time. Like, if you're truly a nurse, there's no greater time when people need you. Yeah. When they have a loved one. Yeah. That's, you know, in dire need, that's, you know, very ill and need that extra support. Yeah. And so, that is what drives me every day. Now I'm in a different role. However,
what's your role? Go ahead and drop it. What's the role?
I'm a director of clinical operations.
Say it again. Say it again.
Director of clinical operations. And now they've added field operations to it, because now when I came to this job, I was tied to a desk. And I'm like, I cannot change anything about what's going on with this company behind this desk. Wow. So I insisted that I go out in the field to find out what needed to be fixed. And that was my sweet spot. I do know that I have the gift of helping people and making people feel comfortable and making people want to be a part of something. So that it's just been a love affair that I never want to end until I'm ready to like retire.
Wow. So what challenges have you faced just in your career progression from when you first came into nursing? What have been some of your challenges, and then what has been kind of easy for you?
Okay. Now, getting a job has always been easy for me. That's the easy part. If I go in that interview, I'm getting that job. If I want it, I'm getting it. It's just
I am getting the job.
So the first thing is you have to be confident. You have to have like just arrogant confidence when it comes to a job. That's the only time I'll use that word. Yeah. Your confidence has been like, why she thinks she deserves the job? Because I'm the best person for it. That's why. Period. I don't even need to explain. Watch me work. You know? So I've always been like that. And I'm gonna tell you, you know, I think we talked about this. I had the blessing of being a part of Jobs for Tennessee Graduates, and they taught us how to perform in an interview. They taught us how to talk, how to even crossing your legs, what to wear, all the things, all of it, every piece. And that's what's missing today. That people just show up like, and you want a job. Okay.
I agree. I agree. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Yes. And that's why I am so passionate about helping people to find that confidence that they need to walk into an interview. Yeah. Right? So that's cool.
That's the easy part for me.
Okay.
The hard things for me is wanting to move too fast sometimes. Because I'm a fixer, right? I want to fix everything. Right. And sometimes you just need to sit back and learn some things. Right. But I just want to get in and I want to get too fast. Yeah. So I had to learn to pace myself.
That's key.
I had to learn to write my goals out. I had to learn to affirm my goals each and every day. Right. And I had to be clear on my goals. Like, you can say, well, I want to be a nurse. What type of nurse do you want to be? It's not enough to just say, I want to be this. Right. What does that look like?
Teach the people, Tonya Love.
But it's the truth, though. What does that look like?
What does that look like? You show up,
and that's why people end up hating jobs. That's not really what I want. You gotta be very clear. Right. You gotta be very clear on what you want. But the most important thing, you gotta have those goals. Yeah. And so, right now, I would say my goals are on track. And I think you too, I would say this, we made a lot of sacrifices for our kids. And one of the sacrifices I made when my kids were in school was I would not get into management until they graduated. Gotcha. Did not want to take time away from basketball games, football games, all the stuff that we did.
Yeah.
And, the plays and all the other stuff that we've been involved in. We are very, very involved moms. I think we took motherhood as serious as we took our
to another level.
And so now that my kids are no longer, again, that was a sacrifice I made. Now I've decided to get into management, because that's one of the questions I get. Like, why now?
Right.
Like, I have the freedom to do it now.
Right.
My kids were not. I was not going to put them off for my career. My kids first, and then I asked to be here. They need my attention. Right. Now I can give my attention to my career, and wow, it's blossoming.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
Quicker than I thought.
Quicker than you thought. But it all started with your mindset, though.
It's my mindset. My mindset, yes.
So when I think
it started with my goals, I knew what I wanted from the time my kids were younger to when they graduated. I knew that I was leaving Memphis. I knew that I was going to pursue management. I knew that I was going to pursue certain goals in management.
Right.
And wow.
Right. So mindset and goal setting, they go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
So be clear about your goals. Just don't write down what you want. You have to write down exactly what you want, and then you have to do a little research to figure out how you're going to get there.
Exactly.
Because just saying it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Once you write it down, you have to put work behind it.
Yep.
Fire!
Writing it down makes it real.
It makes it real. Right. And you don't have to tell everybody.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
First of all, your group should be small. You can have a lot of people that you associate with, but your group should be small. And your group should be filled with people who are honest with you. Right. Not people who tell you what you want to hear. Because we have that tendency to call that girlfriend who's going to agree with everything we say.
Right.
No, my circle is filled with people who are going to tell me the truth.
Right.
And that's the most important part. I want people who are hard on me. I have no problem. I can take the criticism. Right. We have to learn to take the criticism. How are you going to get better if you can't take criticism?
Right.
And it's not, everybody's criticism isn't bad. It's just how we engage in the criticism. Right. And sometimes I get stuff I don't want to hear, but I always sit back and reflect on anything someone tells me, and I can find truth in it. Right. I can find truth in it. So that's the first thing. Get you a really tight-knit group of people who are going to tell you the truth. Right. And then set your goals. Write them down and follow those goals. Make sure, check in on your goals. Right. And have an accountability partner. Talk to
Tonya
them
Love.
Twice a week.
Right.
And my accountability partner will say, I hadn't heard from you. I hadn't seen anything from you. But what are you doing?
What are you doing? Right.
You're right. Yeah. Let me get to it. Let me do something before I call.
Right.
Then I'll tell you.
Right. And the great thing about
the
great thing about having an accountability partner, they can see things in you that you can't even see in yourself. And so they will push you. No, you got this. Even when you're saying, I don't think this is the time. Mm-hmm. Nope, this is the time. Mm-hmm. And you need to go do what you need to do. So, that's key. Yeah. Oh, you're dropping fire bombs in here and I love it. All right. Question number 3. When you began your first real job, do you feel like you were prepared for the workforce? And why?
I feel like I was prepared for everything but the workforce that I entered. Every single time, that's from me being a flight attendant to being a nurse to whatever I've done in life. Because, you go in with these ideas. For example, when I became a flight attendant, I had this idea that it was going to be so glamorous. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful career, So I learned to adapt.
Yeah.
I have to be adaptable, right?
That's key.
You can't be just, well, I don't like that. No, you got to be adaptable, right? Because once you can find a way to be adaptable, you can do anything. You can do anything.
I think that's key. A lot of people get stuck on their jobs, and it's time, and especially for those people who have been on the job longer than 5 or 10 years, and things start to change, they have that mindset where I'm not going to change. And you can't be that way on a job. You have to monitor and adjust, and you have to be adaptable. You have to be able to change when things change. If not, you're going to be left behind.
Yes. And we see that in careers like mine, nursing. Every time they add a new electronic medical record, software to the, we get a slew of nurses quitting.
Wow.
And I'm like, why are you quitting?
Right.
I don't care that you're 65. I don't care if you're 70. Use your resources around you, because there are people that will help you. I would never give up. I'll be 70 years old, still trying to figure it out.
Right. Me too. As frustrating as it can be.
It's frustrating. I'll be 80 years old still. And I see them out here. They're just, I have some of the cutest, we have some of the cutest patients sometimes. And they're on Facebook. Oh, you on Facebook? Are you on Facebook? What's your name on Facebook? I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
They are trying to stay engaged.
Yeah. I was reading an article a couple of weeks ago, and it was talking about how staying engaged and being active with electronics, like it helps your mind.
It does.
As you get older. Is that something that you find in your industry? Is that something
I absolutely think it helps your mind. And I'll just say, for example, what I do. Okay. One thing I've avoided Excel like the plague. I don't want to learn that. I don't want to learn that. I don't want to learn that. Okay, I had to learn that. Although I have people in this office that can put everything together for me, I don't do it. I pushed myself to learn. Yeah. And so, if you want to grow, and I have, this is still to me a stepping stone. I still have 2 more stones that I want to reach before I'm done. Right. And so I'm going to need those resources, and you just, when you know what it is you want to do, like you said, research is so important. Right. Get yourself in line. You can have, and I'm a big believer. You can do, be, and have anything you want. Nobody cannot tell me I can't have it.
Do, be, and have anything you want.
Why can't I?
Why? Why can't I?
Why can't we? We can.
Why can't we?
That secret has been in a book forever. Why don't we know this? And I've taught that to my boys. Right. I've taught that to my sons. Yeah. They've never ever heard their mom say, "Oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's a little ambitious. Why don't you think about doing this first?" Right. Nope, that's what you want. How you gonna get there? Right. Let's talk about that.
That's why we're friends. Because we think alike. That's why we are sisters. That's why you were standing beside me at my wedding. That's why we are friends. Yes. Why can't we?
Why
if not we? Me, who? If not me, when?
The one thing I always say too. I want from my sister what I want from myself. I am jealous of no one.
No one.
I am applauding for her and shouting for her, because if God does it for her, He'll definitely do it for me. What? Who said I was?
If He's done it for her, that means He's on my street. He's in my circle. I'm next.
And that is honestly how I celebrate.
Yeah.
That is honestly who I am, and I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, Tonya, let's talk about, what is that one characteristic that you feel that you have that has propelled your career? And then what is that one thing that may have stopped you at some point in your career?
Ooh, that is good. You know what? I had to do some attitude adjustments. And I say attitude adjustment because I feel like it's right don't mean it's right. And just because it didn't go my way doesn't mean I should quit. And those are the things. I think sometimes we think we know better about some things, and we get upset and we get huffy about things, or we feel somebody got chosen over us. And well, how did she get it and not me, and all of those things. Well, it wasn't your go, and it's okay. To me now, I see things as, oh, okay, that door closed, that means something better waiting. Let's look behind door number 2. Behind door number 2. No, I no longer get upset about those things. This has been for at least 2 decades now that I've learned to, hey, that just wasn't for me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Right.
And now to my one sweet spot, the one thing that I know that gets me, I learned customer service so well. I am so good at that. I'm just good at that.
I love
I'm not a salesperson.
Customer service.
You can't be in customer service and not be a salesperson. I'm just good at that.
I love some good over-the-top customer service. There is nothing wrong with good customer service.
That's it. And I demand that from my nurses. I demand that. I go out with them to see how they, interact with the families and things like that. And I was like, what could we have done better? How could we have supported them better? Because I don't feel like we left them as good as we could have. But we sit there and we debrief about it. And then like a month later, I'll go back out with them. And I see a whole different thing. So,
that's awesome. You out here changing lives, Tonya Love. I
love it. But I feel like my life is changing though. Because what I'm doing, I feel it makes me more compassionate.
Yeah.
It makes me listen better. It makes me think about how short life is.
Yeah.
So we gotta live this life, like live it, like grab it. Don't let it go.
It. I know. That's just kind of where my mindset is right now. It is, and I keep saying this, I have more years behind me than I do in front of me. And so I am determined to live the rest of my life just the best way I can.
That's it. And don't settle for less than that.
And I'm not. Thank you, Tonya Love. I won't. Okay, so let's talk about professional development. So I know a lot of companies offer professional development courses, but sometimes we have to take that into our own hands. What have you done to advance your professional development?
So, in any career that you have, if there is any associations, you should be a part of that. You should be at conferences. Yeah. Anything that involves what you're doing in your career, you should be. Why aren't you there?
Why aren't you there?
I don't care how much it costs. Figure out how to get there. Don't worry about just figure out how to get there.
Figure out how to get there.
And I promise you, if you sit back and think, like, I remember I wanted to go to a conference. It was $700. I don't have $700 extra dollars.
Right.
I don't.
Right.
But I sacrificed and I scraped up the money. I went, and I found out when I got back my job, they, reimbursed me.
Wow.
I had no idea that they would reimburse me for it. So it's a lot of these things which are professional development that you can get reimbursed by your company. And I would ask. Yeah. I mean, if there's a will, like our parents used to, if there's a will, there's a way. That is so true.
That's true.
You just have to want it enough.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's great advice. I hope y'all listening. I hope you're listening because she's dropping some major nuggets out here. All right. So we're almost done. What advice would you give someone who is just entering the workforce?
Again, what we were just talking about, you got to have that professional. Well, forget that. Let's talk about what is it that you want. We got to go all the way back. What is it that you want?
Right.
Soak up all the knowledge. Find you a role model. The day I walked in this door, I said, that's going to be my best friend right there. Yeah. I picked out who was going to be my role model. Day one. Every job I go to, I pick out who's going to be my role model. Do they stay my role model? Some do, some don't. I may pick up another one. Yeah, a whole lot more. They still stay my friends, but I I need to learn something over here.
Right.
So soak up everybody's knowledge. Be like, if they're giving it to you, be there to receive it.
Be a
Because
sponge.
people will pour into you if they feel like you're hungry.
Right. That's true.
If you come in and you're not doing anything and you're just sitting back, and people are going to think you're not engaged. Engage yourself. Immerse yourself in what it is that you want to do.
Right. How important is it to, and I talk about this all the time, when you're looking for role models and you're looking for mentors, it is so important to find someone that is at least 2 levels above you, because guess what? They've been where you are. And so now they're in another position and they understand how to get there. So why not?
Right.
Why
so,
not?
yeah. Why are you?
Don't sit back. Open your mouth. Ask for what you want. If there is a place where you're trying to go and there's someone who's already there, have a conversation. How did you get here? What was your path? Right?
That's right. And you know what? I would say, truly, 9 times, no less than 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
They will have engage you.
Right.
And then they will watch you. And then they will help you.
Yeah.
That's how I got into this seat.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it, because when you find a mentor, someone who then starts to believe in you, your names will come up in rooms that you're not even in.
That's what I'm talking about.
That you're not even in. You know, and I found that, you know, the longer I've been in my career, it's not always what you know, but it's who you know. And even more importantly, it's who knows you.
That's it.
That's it.
That is it. Because just like here, this is what I want people to stop being afraid of too. Don't be afraid of uprooting your life and moving.
Yes.
Why are you afraid of that?
Right.
What is preventing you from doing something else?
Right.
From going somewhere else that you can come?
Yeah.
I think people put so many limitations on themselves. And, you know, if you don't have what you want in life right now, I have to be honest. You're not putting forth the effort or the work, and you're processing everything through fear.
That's
what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Processing things through fear.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not afraid. Look, everybody's gonna be scared.
Right.
Okay, I acknowledge that I'm scared.
Right.
But I'm still walking.
Right.
I'm still going.
I'm
so
still
I have this
going
saying now. I do everything scared. I do everything scared. Everything. I just bought a new house. Scared as hell.
But I can't wait to see it.
Oh, I
saw it from the balcony, so I can't wait to see it in person.
But you know, and I put up some pictures, and those pictures absolutely does the views no justice.
Oh wow. Wow.
So and I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. You have no idea how grateful. And that happened far quicker than I thought it would too.
Wow.
It's mindset. We just got to get our minds right.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you talked about doing things in fear. I am absolutely living my life just on the edge, like about to fall at any moment. But I'm doing the things. And the reason I feel like my podcast is so important, because a lot of women, a lot of people, but I focus on women because I want us to get our life together. But a lot of women may not have someone in their circle who is living their life that way. So they may not see it, and they may not think it's possible for them. So it is my goal to bring amazing everyday women who look like you, who look like me, who are doing amazing things and who are living their life on the edge. Like, I'm scared, but I'm still going to do it anyway. Because I want to push through. I want to live in that 1%. That's a different kind of living. I want it.
That is. It is.
I want it.
And there's nothing preventing that.
Yeah, nothing.
We have to release our limiting beliefs, and we have to know there's nobody better than us. We deserve just as much as anybody else. That's
correct.
So, you know, you just got to step forward. Look that lion. Do not run from the lion. Look him in the face.
Look them in the face.
You know, but you know, when you the accomplishment, I don't know how to explain it, the feeling that I get when I do things and I'm like terrified, not just scared, I'm talking about
terrified, right?
And then I get on the other end of it.
Oh, how beautiful is that? I did
what
it.
Was I scared of in the
what
first
was
place?
I scared of?
What was I scared of in the first place?
But then that gives you the momentum to go after the next thing. And once you get to the next thing, you're like, oh, I'm a little scared, but God dog it, I was terrified back then, and I made it. I made it through, I made it over, and here I am. So you have to use every experience to make you stronger, to make you better, right?
It is. And then, Felecia, I think even bigger than that, and I think every woman listening, and anyone listening can understand.
Yeah.
You know, in our childhood, we've been given a lot of limiting beliefs. Not everybody, but a lot of us.
Right.
Because we're girls.
Right.
We are women of color. You know,
right.
You know, if you're a woman of color, but just being girls, we were told what we can, cannot do.
Right.
What we can and cannot be. What roles were for us and what roles were for someone else.
Right.
We have to find a way to break all those limiting beliefs that we were given as kids and just believe in us. Like, the world has never been this open. We have never had this much access to learning.
Right. Now is the time.
There's no better time.
There is no better time.
There's no better time than right now.
Right now.
Right now. Not tomorrow. Right now.
Right now. Do it. So my last question was, what advice would you give to just people in general? Just what advice would you give someone that's starting a career, stuck in a career, thinking about changing careers? What advice would you give them? I feel like you've given so many golden nuggets on this podcast today, but I know there's just one more thing.
Let's see. Well, just what we were talking about with the limiting beliefs. And then just going in prepared, just knowing what it is.
Yeah.
Being prepared, you know, is the biggest thing. All of those things that we talked about tonight answers that question to me.
Right.
And really answers that question. You know what it is you want.
Right.
Dress the part. Dress the part. Did I say dress the part?
You said dress the part. Dress the part, people. Get yourself together.
Because we've turned down so many people.
Yeah.
Because of things like that. I don't necessarily agree with that all the time, but it happens.
It happens. Show up for yourself.
Show up for yourself.
Show up for yourself.
And then don't be afraid. I know a lot of people, this is the biggest thing. So many people are afraid to talk about themselves and to talk about what they're great at. Talk about it. Brag. The interview, let me say this. In an interview,
brag. There is no one else in the room who is going to brag on you. That is the opportunity for you to brag on yourself. But you got to know what to brag about when you get in there, so you have to be prepared.
You do.
It all goes together, people. It goes together.
Right. And so don't that in that interview, if you really want that job, you have to sell yourself.
You have to sell yourself.
You have to sell yourself. So do not be afraid to brag.
Right.
Do not be afraid to talk about all the things. You know, someone had to point this out to me, Felecia. There are so many things Tonya Love has done, but I don't know. I think about them.
Right.
And then other people say them to me. I was like, oh, I did do that.
Oh,
I did do that.
That is me.
That. Because I did it from my heart space.
Right.
I didn't do it for someone to be. But still, when you enter an interview, you need to bring those gems up. That's when you need to brag about those things.
Right. And since we're talking about an interview and you bragging on yourself, at the end of the interview, ask for the job.
No. Don't ask for the job. Ask them. So when would you like me to start?
When would you like for me to start?
When would you like? I never leave. If I want that job, when would you like me to start?
Right.
This is my availability. That's another. I'll say when would you like me to start? Or this is my availability.
Yeah. I know I had a closing, I guess a couple of years ago when I got promoted on my last job. And I closed the interview and I said, I don't know who you have to interview after me, but I will tell you that no one before me or after me is better suited for this job than I am. I'm like,
Now that right there, never mind. You know what? I'm not gonna do that other interview. I'm gonna go ahead and make you an
right.
offer right
I don't
now.
know who else y'all got to see, but if you look at all the things that you just told me that you're looking for in a candidate, you're looking at it right here. I am that person, right?
Okay. And you know what? One more thing.
This
What
could
is
go
your
on all
resume
night.
looking like? What is your resume looking like?
Fix
A
your
lot of
resume.
people are not. I don't care if you take a new job that same day. Update your resume.
Update your resume.
Update your resume.
Keep it updated because you never
Keep
know.
it updated.
And especially if you go into a new job and you're doing a good job, people are watching. Don't think people are not watching. They're watching you. And so an opportunity may present itself to you much quicker than you are expecting it to be presented to you. So always be ready. Always be ready. Always be prepared.
Always.
Tonya Love, you have set this podcast on fire.
Well, it doesn't. It's not too hard when it's you. It's not
you.
hard when it's you.
I love you so much. Thank
I love you too.
So much for being on tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for agreeing. I know you got a lot going on with your new house and everything, but I am so thankful, so honored to have you here with me tonight. And I guess I'll be posting this video soon. So
well, good.
Thank you.
Look, I'm so excited. This is so wonderful. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that I got to do it because I don't like doing stuff like this. I'm really slick shy. But
don't listen to her.
Like, it's not a whole room full of people I can do this. And then again, what did I say? Do everything scared. I do everything scared.
Well, I was not afraid to have you on tonight. Thank you for being on. I love you.
You're welcome.
You have just watched the 5th episode. 5! I can't believe it. The 5th episode of Career Conversations with Felecia Eaton with my special guest, my sister, my friend, Tonya Love. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.